Hey, hello there. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Friends and amigos, compañeros del mundo. It's your one and only Globe Master, Yao Fosu. You see me in a hoodie in my car? It can only mean one thing. Yes, I'm back in the States. I'm back in New York. I'm back to work. Now, I've been getting some letters. Some are worthy, some are not. But this one right here, I decided I'm going to do it. All right, this is coming from a young man, Bright Johnson, 27 years old, right here in Brooklyn, New York. He said, "Salutations with respect, Mr. Globe Master. I have been dating a West Indian girl, to be specific, from Haiti. Things are going great. We've been together for over a year." He said, "Last Sunday, I was in her house when I saw her mother coming from church. She was wearing all white, which I thought was very weird. So I asked my girl, 'What kind of church do your mother go to?' And she jokingly said that it's not a normal church. It's a voodoo practicing type of church." I care about this girl, but should I be concerned about her mother possibly putting some witchcraft on me? Please give me a little advice. LOL. Kind of shook about it. You were kind of shook about about seeing her mother coming from a voodoo church. What's his name? Bright. If anything, I think you ought to be shook about yourself probably going to whatever church you go to, bowing down in front of a deity that is a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. That's what you need to be shocked about. That's the first thing I'm gonna say to you. All right. Now, let me hit the road. Mr. Bright, the first thing I can say to you is that there's a difference. There's a huge difference between witchcraft and voodoo. You seem to be shook about it, so I'm gonna do my best to explain things to you in a way that you can understand. You see, there are a lot of stereotypes about voodoo that people don't necessarily know about. Okay? Voodoo itself is not really meant to be used for evil. But of course, when you're dealing with human beings, some people can twist it and make it go left. Okay? What is the difference between voodoo and witchcraft? I think I'm going to make that the title for this video. The difference between voodoo and witchcraft is, first of all, voodoo is how can I put it? Voodoo is a supernatural African deity or deities that can be found Anywhere there are black people, okay? Whether it's on the continent of Africa, Brazil, Cuba, they call it Santeria, Haiti, where your girl is from, or maybe her parents is from. I've seen voodoo throughout my travels. I've seen voodoo in Costa Rica. They have voodoo in Jamaica. Listen, anywhere there are black people, there's voodoo, voodoo, juju, hoodoo, whatever way you call it. Anywhere there are melanated people, it's a supernatural and spiritual thing that exists. Okay? But one thing that you gotta know is that voodoo is not in every family, every black person's family. Okay? You said you saw your girl's mother going to a voodoo church, so maybe you shook by that. It could possibly be that woman is just going there to get protection for her family, not to destroy you. You probably the last thing on her mind. I gotta let you know that. Okay? Now, witchcraft, however, is something, it's a spiritual thing that cannot be used for any good. Witchcraft can do no good. It can only do evil, bad, negative things. Okay? What is voodoo? What is voodoo? You see, voodoo, juju, hoodoo, whatever they call it, voodoo, depending on Santeria, depending on where you are in the world. It's an African practice that families have used for protection and sometimes for revenge. If that makes sense. How do people use voodoo? There are a lot of stereotypes about voodoo. Let me first get on the stereotypes. Some people, especially here in America or in the Western world, the white man has brainwashed us to the point that they call voodoo black magic. You see, they put the black and then magic together to make it sound negative, make it sound like it's something evil. Majority of the time, voodoo is used for good instead of bad. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Voodoo usually happens to be in one family, right? And it's a spirit that possesses one person in a family. It could be a family of 10,000. That voodoo or juju, hoodoo, whatever you call it, spirit, Santeria, will choose one person to be the voodoo priestess. Most of the time it's priestess or a priest. Okay, now, when this deity, because that's what it is, it's a deity. When it chooses a person in a family, it will use the family, no, not the family, it will use this person it has chosen since birth to either help people by curing sicknesses, by protecting the family members by fighting, how can I put it? Doing justice for the family. Okay? What I mean by justice is like, let's say you're a young man. You say you're 27, right? This girl is Haitian. Okay? Maybe you meet her. She's beautiful. And you want to get in the panties. Of course, that's what every man wants from a woman. You want to get the booty. But instead of doing the right way, let's say you make a promise to her like, girl, give it to me and I'm going to marry you. Right? Now, if you promise this girl you're going to marry her and she give it to you, and then maybe a week later, a month later, you decided, you know what? F this bitch. She ain't worth shit. You break her heart. If she have voodoo, if she has a deity in her family, they can contact the deity, and believe me, that deity will punish you, and it's not going to be nice. Okay? This is why, as men, especially when you're a younger man, this is something I wish I knew when I was a younger man, because I did a lot of dumb shit myself. This is why we should do research on a woman's background before, especially when it comes to marrying. You should do research, extensive research. You don't just meet a girl because of her beauty and say, you know what, I'm gonna marry her. A lot of men have done it, but and later on, if you don't do good research on the female, it can turn around and bite you in the ass. And this is serious. Okay? What else can voodoo be used for? Voodoo can be used for protection. Okay? I know in Africa and especially Brazil, Latin America, voodoo is used to protect oneself from other people's spirits. Because, believe me, black people anywhere in the world are spiritual people. And not every spirit is clean. Okay? Black people, let me repeat this. Anybody with African blood, whether you're on the continent or here in the diaspora, you are a spiritual person. They only use religion, whether it's Christianity, Islam, Hebrew, whatever. They use that to separate, conquer, and divide us. We, black people, are spiritual people, not religious people. I know some idiots will come after me for saying this, but it's the truth. You see, you could go to any country in Africa, especially in West Africa. There's an accident right in front of me. And you will see that, ooh, 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars. Damn. 5 cars. Anyway, I hope they're okay. This part of the world, you probably on your way going home when some idiot, one little mistake, and there's a 5-car pileup over there. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. voodoo can be used for protection, right? I lost my thought, but I'm going to try my best to get back into it. It can be used for protection, and it can also be used for revenge. Let's say you have an innocent child and somebody did something evil to your child. If you know a voodoo deity, you can go see that deity and ask for help, and that deity can help you. Of course, there will be sacrifices that you have to make. Okay, mostly there's going to be some bloodshed, whether it's from a chicken to a goat to a cow. It depends on where you are. Okay, deities, voodoo can also be used in some ways that let's say you are a man. This usually happens in Africa and Brazil, in Cuba too. If you're a man, let's say you're a very faithful man, very, very faithful. You will not even look at another woman, right? But your wife, you have a reason to believe your wife is fucking around on you. You approach your wife and say, hey, listen, I have been nothing but faithful to you, but I have reason to believe you are sleeping with another man behind my back. And of course, if you don't catch a woman red-handed, she will deny it and try to make you look like the bad person. She says, oh, hell no. How can you accuse me of something like this? So now, if you have a deity, a voodoo deity in your family, you can go to the deity and ask for help and say, I have reason to believe that my wife is cheating on me. I have tried everything, but I cannot catch her. Okay? Now, see, a deity can be wicked. If you, the man, if you are clean and you're not doing anything bad yourself, that deity, that voodoo, the next time your wife go open her legs for another man, right? Now, I know some people have probably seen this on you've probably seen it on TikTok, on the internet, anywhere. Another man stick his finger inside of her, and they get stuck together like dogs. It happens. I've seen videos of this from Africa, from Brazil, even from Cuba. Nothing, let me tell you something, nothing can pull that man's finger out of her until the husband comes home, and then they will take that man and the adulterous wife to the deity, to face the deity before they can get detached. This is real. And this is no bull crap. Okay? What else can voodoo be used for? There are stereotypes that voodoo, somebody can use voodoo to kill you. It's true. It's true. Somebody can use voodoo to kill you. But in order for a deity to kill you, you have to be completely guilty. Okay? Let's say you murder somebody, right? And they have a deity, a voodoo deity in their family, and you think you got away with it by murdering that person, they can go see the deity, and that deity will hunt you down. And in the end, you're going to lose your life. It's true. There's some stereotypes about voodoo that a lot of people think is true, but it's not. Somebody can tell you like, oh, somebody can put voodoo on you and you'll fall in love with them. That's bullshit. Deities don't do that. Okay? Somebody can say, oh, you could use voodoo to make money. That's another bull crap. Deities don't do. There's no deity in the world that can make you make money. And if you're a man or a woman and you go to some voodoo priest or priestess, go make some sacrifices and to say, I want to get some money, they're playing you. They're just taking your money and your chickens or goats or cows or whatever. Whatever you sacrifice, they're just going to eat it, and you will end up with nothing, because deities is not supposed to help you financially. That do not exist. Okay? So that's some of the stereotypes about deities. Now, I think I've spoken enough about deities. Let's talk about witchcraft. Now, witchcraft is the most dangerous thing any human being can experience, whether it's to or from another person. What is witchcraft? Witchcraft is an evil spirit that is passed on intergeneration, if that makes sense. Witchcraft can be passed on from a grandmother to a granddaughter, from a grandfather to a grandson. Oh yeah, there are men witches too. They are called wizard. Now, when you play video games, you think wizard is some fairy tale character or whatever. No. They are men witches. They are called wizards. Okay, now, a witch, Mr. What is his name again? Bright. A witch is a spirit that could do nothing but evil. Okay? Like I said, witchery is something that is passed on mostly in families. Like I said, from a grandmother to a granddaughter, and it keeps going on. Sometimes it can skip you. It can skip a girl, but the next generation, it will be passed on to her daughter. How does this work? If I'm going to talk about witchery, it may probably take too long because this video is already long. Let me give you a prime example of what a witch is. All right? There's this female. I don't even have to say her name. I'm just going to give you a narrative about this female, and you know who I'm talking about. She's a witch. She's an actress. I would say she's a B actress the most. She charmed her way into the most successful black actor in America. You should know who I'm talking about if you have a brain. Okay? I don't have to say her name. And I'm sick and tired of saying his name. Okay? Now, this woman, when she was a young girl, I'm not the one saying this. She has said it from her own freaking mouth. That when she was 9 years old, her grandmother showed her how to masturbate. Listen to this. Her grandmother showed her how to masturbate at 9 years old. Now, incest is one of the strongest way witchery is passed on from a grandmother to a granddaughter. Another way, the strongest way a grandmother can pass on witchery to a granddaughter is she'll pick up the baby most of the time when she's a toddler. Kiss her in the mouth, and she spit a snake into her mouth, and that child will swallow it. That's how they pass on witchery. Okay? Incest, whether it's a father sleeping with his daughter or a grandfather sleeping with a granddaughter, a mother sleeping with a son, that's some of the strongest way witchery is passed on from one generation to the other. Okay, now let's go back to this woman I'm talking about. She said her grandmother showed her how to masturbate when she was 9 years old. Now, in my spiritual eyes, that's how she became a witch. The grandmother passed that on to her. And I'm pretty sure it was not just masturbation the grandmother showed her. The grandmother, I am pretty damn sure the grandmother molested her and passed on the witchery to her. Now, when she was a teenager to a young woman, she was one of the most finest black women in America. Okay? Striking beauty. Any man that will see her will be captivated by her beauty. She was a very beautiful woman. Okay? Now, when a woman becomes a witch, when the spirit is in her, any man, let me repeat this, any man that will put his penis inside of her, she's like a black widow spider. As soon as you put your penis inside of her, she will wrap her web around you. Entanglement. That's another clue. Entanglement. You will get entangled in her web. Now, if you're a man and your spirit is strong, you fuck this woman and you are able to break out of her web and leave her behind. Some way, somehow, she's gonna hunt you down and she's gonna kill you. She's gonna kill you. And then she is gonna pretend and cry about you like she was so in love with you. It could be 100 years after you are dead. This woman will cry about you, even though she's the one that killed you spiritually. Okay? She will move on. She will find a rich simp, a man whose aura is so bright, because a witch can read a man's aura. A witch can look at a man and see how bright his future is going to be. She's going to charm him. And physically, she's going to reproduce with that simp. That simp is going to give her the best life she can ever live in the physical realm. But she will never respect him. Because she's a witch, she will open her legs for many different men. She will spiritually demolish the so-called husband, even if he is the most handsome man in the world, even if he's the most highly respected man in the world. This woman, this witch, will spiritually demolish him. He will be a zombie at her presence. He will worship her like she's a god that could never do any wrong. Like I said, her thirst to destroy other men will continue. But no matter what, no matter anything that goes up must come down. A witch will feel so powerful and start talking reckless. One day, somebody, a man that she's sucking dry, if you know what I mean by sucking dry spiritually, will expose her. And that's the worst thing you can do to a witch. When you expose a witch. Oh, by the way, witches will not only sleep with their own son. A witch will sleep with her son's friend. If that gives you another clue. A witch has no shame. A witch will molest a child if she will not get caught. And most of the time they do not get caught. So, if you're a man, you're not afraid for your life, and you expose a witch, I feel sorry for you. She will punish you before you die. First thing she's going to do is she's going to change your destiny, whether you are successful or not. She will change your destiny. You're going to go from a handsome man that's sleeping with beautiful girls to a man that is taking it in the ass. You're going to be sucking cocks because you have disgraced her. Before she kill you, you know who you are, young man. Before she kill you, she's going to put you through hell for exposing her. Oh yeah. She's going to put you through a living hell. The time will come when you wish you was dead for exposing that witch. I feel sorry for you. I actually know elements that you can surround your body with that a witch cannot touch you. Of course, see, these are some of the things why some people think I'm freaking cuckoo. But hey, and anybody in the world can call me a crazy mother effer. I don't care. I speak from my heart and I speak the truth. I'm not going to make this video too long. A witch cannot be killed because most of the time they pass it on to the next generation before their demise. saw Mr. what's his name, Bright, if you saw your Haitian girlfriend's mother coming from a voodoo church, don't think it's because of you or they got anything. You said she was laughing, jokingly laughing when she said, oh, she went to a voodoo church. This got nothing to do with you. Besides, the only way voodoo can harm you is if you are a fucked up person. If you are clean, a deity has nothing to do with you. You see, one thing you also have to know about deities is that if you go to a deity and you ask a deity to kill another human being, the deity is going to ask you, are you sure this person deserves to die? Or this person have done something so horrible that this person deserves to die? And deities just don't kill for the heck of it. They'll do investigation. And if they find out that you just want to waste another human being's life, you just want to shed another human being's blood for nothing, they will make a U-turn and come after you. And you are the one that's going to be dead in the long run. Deities are not to be messed with. Okay? You see, the white man, when they brought African captives to Brazil, Cuba, Jamaica, West Indies, and even here to America, what they don't know, or what they didn't know, is that majority of these Africans have spirits in them that cannot be broken by Christianity, by Islam, by Judaism. Okay? These spirits are still here to today. This is no lie. This is no BS. These spirits are still here to today. They used to separate any captives that were speaking the same language. And if they catch, especially in Jamaica, they also did it in Cuba. And also here in America, if they catch two African captives, so-called slaves, that were speaking the same language, sometimes they were killed or they break their spirit by raping them. It's called buck breaking. You could look into it. I speak nothing but facts. And that is the worst thing you can do to an African person. Anyway, I hope my explanation can some way, somehow open your eyes. And don't think that because you saw your future mother-in-law coming from a voodoo church doesn't mean they're after you. All right? Name is Yafusu. Take care of yourself. God bless. And cheesy ears.